3, 2, 1, go!
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Cody Lima and this is another episode from my solo survival Minecraft series. If you watched the last episode, you might remember me saying I was going to tear down this tower that I am standing on and replace it with a new design. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to do a little time lapse, so let's go! You're probably thinking, Coded, why did you take that down? What was wrong with it? Well, first, let me just say, 90% of Minecraft is destroying things you've already done and doing them again. That is just facts. You might even remember me saying this. It's actually taken me 6 hours just to do one. 6 hours. Which means it would be another 18 hours to do the other 3. And that is one of the contributing factors to this decision. The thought of another 18 hours just to put the other 3 towers up honestly filled me with so much anxiety. Having said that, I don't know exactly how long the new design will take. I am a lot happier with it though. The previous design just didn't look as good as I thought it did. I've also started planning out the rest of the build and the old design just didn't fit in with what I want to do. They were just too bulky for the whole layout. So that was also a factor in the decision. Anyway, I need to temporarily move this melon farm too, and then I'm going to build up the new tower and see how long it actually takes. I will be right back. Well, that took just over 2 hours to do, so a lot quicker than the last one. You can see it's a simpler design, a lot straighter, which just makes it easier. I just felt the old ones were far too elaborate. I wanted to simplify it a little. I didn't want the towers to be the focus of the attention. Anyway, with that one done, I'm going to get the other 3 done too, and I think I'll do a time lapse of that as well, so enjoy. And finished. So much quicker than the old design, and they still look good. So they're not just for show, I'm planning on putting farms inside them. I want 2 melon farms and 2 pumpkin farms, and they're pretty simple to make. However, I have a slight problem. I have almost 0 redstone, and I need quite a bit for the build. And there's several ways to get redstone. Yes, it's time for another Minecraft lesson with me, your host, Coded Lima. The first way you can get redstone is by caving. Caving can be quite fruitful, but you need potions and stuff to make it easier, and there is always the danger of being murdered by a creeper. It's very time consuming and there's no guarantees of finding what you need.
Hello there.
Option 3 is trading with villagers. And this is easy once you've set it up, but it's a very long-winded process to get enough villagers to make it easy. So we are going to go for option 4, which is building a witch farm. Redstone is one of the drops from witches, and I need to make one at some point anyway, so I figured now would be as good a time as any. So first, I need to find a witch's hut in a swamp, and luckily I know where one is from when I got myself a black cat. Okay, so we're here at the hut, and I'm going to have to do a bit of digging before I make the farm, but I think I'm just going to time-lapse the whole thing, so enjoy. Okay, so the farm is set up. I can show you how it works. So witches spawn in this area because of the witch hut. They do spawn in normal farms, but the rates are much higher if you build around the witch hut. So when a witch spawns, it triggers the tripwire, and that releases the water at the back, and it flushes the witches out. And then they get entity crammed in the minecarts. Simple, and it's quite efficient, as you can see. So it works, but to maximize the efficiency, I need to make sure nothing else can spawn around it. So that means I have to spawn proof this area, and the red sphere you can see shows me where mobs can spawn, and any land inside the sphere mobs can spawn on. So I'm going to have to get that cleared up, and that's what I'm going to do next. So I might make this look prettier one day, but for now I need to AFK here for a little bit and get some redstone. I worked out I need like 60 stacks of redstone dust, so I might be AFKing for a while.
One eternity later.
Well, I've come to a realization. I get a stack of redstone roughly every 30 minutes, which means to get as much as I need, I would have to AFK for 30 hours. I do not have 30 hours. I had a second realization. I didn't take into account all the redstone dust I need to craft pistons, powered rails, repeaters, and a few other bits. So I need even more than 60 stacks. So what I'm going to do is just build one of the 4 farms for now, and I'll work on getting enough redstone for the rest before the next episode. It's annoying because I really wanted to get them all done, but I guess I'll just have to wait. You know, when I'm recording time lapses, I feel this weird sense of like everything has to be perfect. Even though it goes by so quick, I'm like so self-conscious about little mistakes and stuff. Anyway, the first farm is done. I'm going to briefly explain how it works. So I actually kind of designed this myself. Most melon or pumpkin farms use observers to detect when they're grown and then piston, but I didn't want to do that because it goes off far too frequently. And because I'm going to have 4 of these huge farms, I wanted to try and keep the lag to a minimum. I also didn't want to have hopper minecarts constantly running again because of lag, so I created a system where the melons will only be harvested once a day at noon. This setup is temporary until I put a roof on, but basically the comparator having the torch next to it means it will only turn on when the daylight sensor outputs a signal strength of 15, which only happens at exactly noon. So once it does that, the observer sees the change in the comparator and sends a pulse. So I'm just going to manually force this to show you what happens. So once the observer is triggered, it sends a pulse to the dispenser, which sends out a minecart hopper. That runs over this activator rail, which sounds out the next minecart. They also run over activator rails on the side, triggering the pistons to break any melons that have grown. Because melons break into melon slices, I needed more than one minecart to collect the drops. On the pumpkin farms, I'll probably just use one minecart by itself because it'll be enough. Anyway, once the minecarts have made their way to the bottom, they are broken here and the contents go into the water stream, and the minecarts go into the hopper and they go back up this bubble vator back into the dispenser, ready to go again. Right now I just have this temporary storage, but it's in the right general area for my future castle plans, so when the time comes I'll be able to adjust it pretty easily. Next time I might even get around to starting this area off properly. On that note though, I am going to call it a day. I've had a very busy and stressful few weeks and it's taken me longer to get this episode done than I would have liked, but hopefully the next one won't be too far away. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, and if you're brand new, consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.